trade the eggs for something my mother wanted.
But you was on a horse,
Yeah.
and you'd go down there and trade with Leon.
No, let's see. Charlie Marcus had it then.
Charlie Marcus had it then.
Yeah. Him and Miss Maud.
Who had it before Charlie?
I really don't know.
Did Jeff have it? Jeffrey Jackson, the one that originally built it?
I don't know. I'm not for sure. I think he owned it.
He owned it.
But Mr. Charlie and them just run it. And they live right across the road. You know where that little brick block house is over there?
Right.
They lived there.
They did.
They built that house back then. First block house anybody had ever seen in the country.
What year you think that was? Probably back in the 40s?
Oh, yes.
Right around World War II?
Yes.
What year was you born?
37.
37.
Yeah.
So it's probably around 1950. You remember the store still being people still trading there.
Yeah.
But you do remember Leon, and you do remember Kelmer.
Yeah.
What do you remember about Kelmer?
I just remember of it, his name, that's all.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
How about Miss Aldell?
No, that don't ring a bell.
That was his wife.
Okay.
Vera
There.
Aldell.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. Back in those days, the man was over here and the woman, you didn't see much of them. I don't quite agree with that, but that's the way it was.
Right.
So
What do you think about the world today?
it's getting worse and worse. I'll tell you right quick.
Do you remember Maxie? That was Leon Jackson's son.
No.
You don't remember Maxie Jackson? Huh. I figured you'd remember him.
Was he a real young boy, or was he older?
No, he's 74 or something like that now.
74?
Probably about your age.
No, I'm up in my 80s.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, you get around good. No, Maxie was the wild one. He was the one that was married to Louise over here. That was always.
That was J.W.'s
Yeah.
son.
No,
Right?
no, that was Leon's son. So you remember J.W. too?
Yeah.
I'll be dog. You remember old J.W. Whenever he drive that station wagon?
No, I don't know nothing about a station wagon. What I remember about J.W. is a pair of horses he had.
Okay.
He had a pair of black horses that nobody could handle.
That nobody could handle.
And they had the power.
They did.
Yeah. I mean, they used to bet on them down around Hop In and all. I'll just give you this for a hint.
Right.
There was a certain kind of timber that they used for single trees, and nobody had a pair of horses or anything that would break them.
Okay.
And he hooked them to them, and they broke them.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Trade eggs down there.
Yep.
Right. I was told they also traded knives and stuff like that down there.
They may have, but I didn't have a knife to trade and didn't know what it was all about.
Right. Right.
I just did what I was told.
You remember old Dan Simmons?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Dan was a good old seller.
He really was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. And people, pardon my figure of speech, people didn't have sense enough to know.
Yep. Dan would give you the shirt off his back, you know it?
He would.
Now, Sue, she was one you didn't want to toil with.
And
His wife, Sue, she was one you didn't want to toil with.
I've just seen her a few times, and that was about all. But I worked for Dan one time.
You did?
You never guess what I did.
What'd you do?
I was a sawmill kicker. I kicked. They put me up on that pile of sawdust.
Right.
That was my job to kick it down.
So you've been here all your life, and hadn't you?
Well, no, I left here in, let's see, 52. My mother passed away.
See? And then you come back. And then you come back.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You come back in 52?
No, not in 52. I come back here in 62.
62.
Yeah.
So you was living here then. You was already here whenever we moved over to the Dennis Harrison place over here. You remember Mr. Harrison?
Oh yeah, that's my uncle.
That was your uncle?
Yeah.
How was he your uncle?
That's my mother's brother.
I'll be darned. So you remember the guy right there around the corner that used to have the prettiest place around? Was it wasn't McDermott. You probably do remember Mr. McDermott. But was it?
You talking about where the junkyard is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name? Enos?
Enos.
No, it wasn't Enos.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That was Enos' place. He got killed down there at Beach Grove Church.
What happened to him?
He was going to the limb store to get some oranges. His wife going to make him an orange cake for his birthday. It was cold weather. And there was a family down there, and they had a feud.
Had a feud?
Yeah, and they hid into the church down there. Of course, back then they didn't lock up churches.
Right.
And when he got down there to the mailboxes, walking down to the store, they walked out the door there with shotguns and loaded them to pieces. Just over an argument. Yeah.
Killed him.
Killed him dead.
Anybody go to jail?
Nope. They got on their horses and headed back towards Hop In. Went around by almost to Kenton across the levee over there and went into Missouri. Once you got to Missouri, you're home free.
Once you crossed the state, you was okay.
Back in those days, you were.
About what year was that? Was that whenever you were just a youngster?
Oh, me. No, that was before my time. My mother told me all about that, and my daddy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they know who killed him, but there wasn't nothing they could do about it? And it was over a feud?
Yep. An argument.
An argument.
Could have been settled. But they didn't. Jimmy, I got to get in here and get my groceries, Dan.
All right.
And see about my wife.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I didn't realize that somebody had gotten killed right there at the Beach Grove Church.
Yeah, sure did. Well, you know, ain't nobody right here today. I don't say too much about it. I'll tell you why.
Why?
People think I'm a blooming nut.
Why?
I don't know. I remember all of those things.
I heard of another killing down there too, where a Ridgeway killed somebody back years ago.
Ridgeway?
Uh-huh.
You know how to get to Beach Ridge? Go
Right.
There.
Right.
Used to be a little road turn. Go down there a little ways, and the road turned back to your left. Just as you passed that was two little log houses up there. That's where that happened.
That's where the Ridgeway killing took place?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was?
Yep.
Over where Doodobber used to live?
Well, I don't know who. A lot of new names I don't know. But
he went to jail for that, didn't he?
No, he went. He left the country and he went to Pennsylvania. He worked up there in Mills in Pennsylvania. Irvin was his name.
Irvin?
Yeah.
Irvin Ridgeway?
No, it wasn't a Ridgeway. That was his last name, Irvin.
That was his last name?
Mm-hmm. I guess he had a first name. I never did know of it. Or never was.
So you never did hear about the Ridgeway killing?
Uh-uh.
There was a Ridgeway killing down there too at one time.
I may have heard of it, but it just passed over my mind.
Out of all the people here, between the Simmonses, the Cobles, the Jacksons, the Mackrights, the Jacobses, out of all of them here, which one do you think was here the longest? In other words, which one do you think settled in here before the other one did?
Gosh, I wouldn't have no idea.
That'd be going back to the early 1800s. You'd have to go in the books to find that stuff, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't know which way to even go to get that.
You'd have to go in the Minuteman and look at that to be able to figure out who was the first one that settled in this area. I looked at a book about the name Sidonia, and it was named, the name Sidonia was named after Sodom out of the Bible, Sodom and Gomorrah out of the Bible. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You did know that?
Mm-hmm. Now you know why they named Sidonia too, don't you?
No.
Well, after Sodom and Gomorrah, look what happened to them.
What happened to them?
God destroyed them.
Well, why would they have named the town that?
People will do any darn thing.
Around here?
Yeah.
I know they used to have a sawmill right up here.
Yeah.
And I know the Reynolds brothers, and I used to know Tonkin Elliott and all of them up here.
Yeah.
But now you go further back than that, don't you?
Yep, I sure do.
You go way, way back.
I remember all of them. But we couldn't go to town or nothing anyway. We didn't have a nickel to spend, so
Times was hard back then, wasn't they?
you better believe it.
In 1929, whenever the Great Depression hit, you said you was born when?
37.
You was born in 37. So whenever you was growing up as a youngster, your people really was poor, wasn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Poor.
Right after the depression of it,
The Great Depression?
and go back to 1937. You know what happened? This part of this country was underwater.
No way.
Yeah.
How was it underwater, sir?
Such a flood. Oh man, the flood was all of Illinois, Mississippi, Missouri,
I didn't know that.
Kentucky.
I didn't know that.
There's some places up in Kentucky, they show it on TV every now and then. They still got this old house. It was a 2-story house. And this man and woman, they had 2 cows left. And they'd lost all their chickens and everything.
Is that where the name Sheep's Defeat come from down there at Beach Ridge?
I don't know about
Where
that.
those sheep all drowned?
Well, yeah. And I've heard of that one. But anyway, in order for them to survive, they went through their house. They took the cattle up the steps on the 2nd floor.
Oh my gosh.
And they all lived on the 2nd floor.
Until all the water receded.
Yeah, until all the water went down.
Wow. Did you ever hear of any descendants coming from the Crockett's pertaining to David Crockett?
No. I never really did,
He had descendants here.
as far as that goes. I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh yeah, he had descendants.
There's probably a lot of people kin to people that don't even know it.
Why did they call it Scroungehorn Community?
I don't know.
Come on now, tell me the truth.
I don't know.
I know you've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Scroungehorn Community.
Yeah.
I was told it was because the brothers was marrying the sisters and the first cousins was marrying the first cousins and they called it Scroungehorn Community because of that.
You may have a point there. I got to get these groceries in.
Take care of yourself.
Okay.
Good talking to you. I'm gonna put you on my Facebook page, sir. It's been an honor talking to you.
Alrighty.
God bless you. He goes way back. Born in 1937. He's a brewer. I knew Larry Brewer. I'm right here in the middle of the big city of Sidonia, Tennessee. Right there's where I got saved at First Baptist Church right there, the original church. I don't remember the school being here, but they had a post office, and they had a school, and it was a thriving town at one time. I don't know that it was a what you'd consider a flourishing town, but it was a thriving town at one time. And I didn't know about the murder at Beach Grove Church, and I didn't know about that other murder neither. But I don't doubt it, because years ago this place was well noted as being a really rough joint of either living in or coming from. In other words, they had a bad reputation here. And I still devote a lot of the resistance of people not supporting and getting in behind the Windmill Ministries missions, because geographically where I was raised up at, I still devote a lot of that because of the bad name and the bad reputation that this place had created for itself. And it's almost like Cat's Corner or Skull Bone or Sleepy Hollow or some of these other places that have built up reputations for themselves. And because of the reputation, you can have somebody to ask you, where are you from? And as soon as you tell them that you're from a certain area, they automatically compartmentalize you and put you in a box, because you either live there or have lived there. And to me, that's one of the problems here in America, is that people want to prejudge everybody. People want to examine each other to the point that they don't give nobody a break, and everybody condemns everybody. Well, I'm going to condemn you because of where you lived. Well, I'm going to condemn you because you're old. Well, I'm going to condemn you because you're driving a Ford and I'm driving a Chevy. Well, I'm going to condemn you because you got long hair. Or I'm going to condemn you because you smoke and I don't. In other words, everybody down here wanted to and it ain't just down here, it's all over America, where they basically want to departmentalize everybody and put them in this particular box. And because you belong in this box, well, we're not going to give you a chance to do anything. And that is the very thing that I consistently tell people about. That is the hand and the handiwork of Satan. And that is the very thing that is destroying America from the inside out, as far as our adversary that has created such of a toxic environment towards people steadily being at each other's throats. And it's sad, because I've never seen America like this. You know, I'm 58 years old, and I just don't remember America ever turning on itself to where it's basically eating its own the way that it's doing now. And basically the only people that stand true to each other are the successful and the rich, the wealthy people. You know, birds of a feather flock together. Well, they know better than to get out here and cut each other down and to hurt each other's reputation and to try to bring embarrassment to each other in some form or fashion, because their wealth is devoted around their own personal success. And because of their own personal success, they don't want to jeopardize possibly their own success just because they have decided to bash somebody else in a negative form. Ordinarily, there's always exceptions to the rule. You know, and I think right now what we're seeing on TV pertaining to various people, the Republicans being against the Democrats being against the independents, the the commotion that we're seeing right now on TV is really abstract. It's really unusual to see this type of ridiculation, slanderous ridiculation upon each other, the way that they're doing each other right now. It's really unusual to see that, because ordinarily you don't see that. And once more, this is the handiwork of Satan that is trying its very best of exterminating itself from the inside out. And if we as a Christian society don't wake up and don't wisen up and don't figure out what our adversary is up to towards tearing us apart from the inside out, towards everybody being at one another's throat, that's exactly what Satan's going to accomplish. He's going to weaken this nation. He's going to weaken our communities. He's going to weaken our families to the point that we basically self-extinct ourselves from society. And that is a heartbreak, beyond a heartbreak, that a group of people that at one time followed after the ways of the Lord and was considered decent, moral, righteous people has squandered their relationship with not only the Lord away, but has squandered their own relationships with each other away. It's extremely sad to see how Satan has come in and divided Americans and divided homes and brought divorces and separation like I've never seen before. It's extremely, extremely sad to see something on this magnitude that is occurring. And it's not just occurring here in Northwest Tennessee, pertaining to the little old community now that's now considered a community, rather a town of Sedonia. It's not just happening here. It's not just happening to Hop In, pertaining to the wildlife refuge and the people that live around the wildlife refuge. It's all over America, where people are shooting and killing and lying and cheating and pawing and huffing and puffing, and I've never seen it like it is right now. I've never seen it in America towards us being so divided as what we're looking at right now. Thanks again for listening to me. Once more, my name is Dennis James Juby, Jewbee, Juby Jackson. Scooby Dooby Doo, Juby Dooby Doo. Good luck to all of us in this golden year of Jubilee in 2018. Today is April the 10th, Tuesday, year 2018. I just want to say to my viewers, thank you for supporting this open live broadcast of the Windmill Ministries missions at 291 Thompson Road. And shalom. Shalom to all of us who are striving towards the same endeavors. As I travel through this pilgrim land, there is a friend who walks with me. As I kneel in prayer, I hope to meet you there. Precious Jesus, hold my hand. as I kneel in prayer. I hope to meet you there, precious Jesus, hold my hand. I used to play on this hill right here almost every afternoon. Me and Dwayne used to try to scare cars going by putting owls on fishing twine, clear fishing twine, and letting it fly across the road at night while people was driving through. Right here's where this church is, Beech Grove Church, that guy was talking about, where somebody gotten killed over a feud. And that's exactly what Donald Ridgway would like to do. He would like to pull out his gun and blow Juby's brains out. To think that home up there that you just got through looking at used to be one of the most beautifulest homes in the world. To think that he's allowed for that to get in the shape that it's in, it breaks my heart to see how once more this place that I used to call home has turned into. Hey buddy, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm fine, sir. You?
Right? So you think old Ridgway, he's aggravating our lives down here because he wants the property?
Probably.
There's got to be some kind of reasoning behind it, huh?
I guess, yeah. He don't bother me unless he's wanting. I said he's wanting to buy the stove that's behind the van, but after I told him how much my father-in-law wanted for it, he's dropping like a hot rock.
Wonder what's wrong with him.
Honestly, I don't know. People just like to have money, I guess.
Wants to be in control, don't he?
Probably.
He's a control freak.
Could be, I don't know.
He scammed and hoodooed all those people up there in Chicago for years and years and years. And now in his retirement years down here, he wants to continue the same, as far as taking advantage of people, finding somebody down on their luck, and basically he may not actually steal it, but he gets it so cheap that he just as well stole it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't like people like that. I really don't. Because they prey on the innocent, they prey on the weak, they prey on the demented, they prey on people that's down on their luck. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like people like that.
Me either.
I like that shirt though. Where in the heck you get that shirt at?
Walmart?
Really? That's a neat shirt. What happened to your back bumper? Did you hook on something?
No, I got stuck in the bush.
I'll be darned. If it ain't one thing, it's another, huh? Why'd you have to put up a sign on your door for? That's the reason why I stopped. Why'd you have to put a sign up on your door? Private property. Have you had people that's been trying to break in?
But, father-in-law want me to put it up and let people know that it's private property.
Ricky?
Yep. So I did as he asked me to.
Must have been a reason why he wanted you to do that.
He didn't give me no reason, but I don't try to question him too much. He is my father-in-law.
Right, I know. Ricky's a good old boy, ain't he?
Yes, father-in-law is.
Charlene, he's married to. Is that your mother?
No, that's Brandy's mom.
That's your wife's mother.
Mm-hmm. My mom has been gone for the last 2 years.
I see. And you was originally raised up north somewhere, wasn't you?
Sure.
Yep. How do you like it down here?
I've been down here for 20 years. It ain't bad.
You been here for how long?
20 years, about 20 years.
Right? That ain't too bad of a deal, is it?
My mom's family's from down here.
Who was she? Who?
Gail Plowman.
Where was she raised up at?
She lived in Summer.
Selmer? South of here, down towards,
On the other side of Jackson.
right, down towards Buford Pulsar territory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know where that is. Does Rosemary and Dennis ever give you any trouble?
Nope.
They pretty good. They pretty good folks, ain't they?
I never had no problem with them.
All right, well, I'm going to get on up here. You take care. Sorry about your bumper.
It's all right.
It's one of my neighbors. When I kneel in prayer, I hope to meet you there. Precious Jesus, hold my hand. Here's my property here. I've went around recently putting up more no trespassing signs. You know, and it just breaks my heart of the fact that I had to do that. Because originally we was going to open this up for the general public. David and I was, in the name of our grandmother, Vera Aldell Jackson. And we was going to try to help the general public around here towards getting them off of drugs and alcohol and leading them in the direction that the Bible talks about, as far as getting them to where they actually can read the Bible and interpret it properly. Those who have been indoctrinated the wrong way around here, and it's pretty apparent that that they didn't want that here. God bless you. Shalom.